Okay. Alright, so I just want to make a quick video. This one's definitely going to be quick. I need to talk about building an outreach group for believers. Um, or those who are questioning or in the process but just not sure, whatever have you. In particular, people who are in a struggle. I want to go very specific here. Drug habits, porn addiction, temptation, homosexuality. That's very important for me to that very specific, that one. Um, Mainly because of two reasons. One, uh, I've lived through this, and two, um, this is a big part of the deception that is going on, and if we don't understand, and the best way for someone to listen is to hear it from somebody else who's lived the life and understands, so that you can explain to them the whole entire process. And that's really the objective, to help somebody who's in the struggle. uh, Porn, drugs, alcohol, lust, cheating, any mess. I've experienced and been through so much at this young age. Yeah, young. Yeah, so if anybody has questions or issues and they have no one to talk to, that haven't been that they're not sure is spirit filled, that can give them or point them in the right direction, you can definitely shoot me a note. I'm on here. Have I have my YouTube link to my email, so I'll be able to receive messages, and we can work it out, because it's important. We're in such a dark time, and if you just understand how basic, it's so basic. It's so this concept. Um, it's very simple once you get away from it. So basically, it's one of those things where it's hard for somebody who's in the struggle to relate to somebody who is not in the struggle. Meaning that it's very easy for somebody who is not there to point and say, you're doing this wrong, you're bad, and blah, 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 versus someone who was already there and like, oh, but I don't want to be here, and I don't I don't have control over this, and I want to defeat this, but I can't defeat it. And I've been on both. I've pointed the finger before, and I've been in it, so I definitely could relate. And no more pointing the finger. Before you take the speck out of your somebody else's eye, take the log out of yours. That's what Christ teaches, and we can't be attacking. We can't be attacking any of his followers, because at the end of the day, we all have had a struggle or something to overcome. We've all had to fight in the spiritual war. Any spirit-filled Christian know that we've all had a struggle and had to fight evil, demonic thoughts and blasphemy and all these other things that are just not of light. Everyone has to do it. No one that is a Christian that's spirit-filled can't say they didn't have to go through that, unless they're definitely are not spirit filled if they say they've never been through that refining process. So going through that process and overcoming it solely based on faith solely based on faith and trusting the Word, which is Jesus Christ. So I know that I could be of assistance to somebody else just trying to just even start the walk, because it's all about, it starts with a prayer, but an honest prayer, a prayer that comes from the heart, but more importantly, confessing all your sins. Because at that moment when you start praying and when you have to list the different sins, some things are going to be so embarrassing that you would never want to mention, but the fact of the matter is, he's been there he's been there. He knows your every thought, he knows your every action, he knows everything you've done, from the threesomes to the porn to the addiction to the alcohol to the partying to the lying to the stealing, to whatever it is, whatever to all the thoughts, to every single thing. There's nothing that he hasn't seen or been around. Like, nothing phases him. Let's put it like that. When he was on this earth, who was he hanging out with? Who did he have lunch or dinner with? He was sitting at some table and like, why is he sitting with those people, those sinners? Because he's not phased. He's not worried. Because they can't make him. And that's how he wants us to be. Unaffected. Like, you can't come into when you're so godly, when you're so spirit filled, darkness can't come into your space and scare you. Darkness can't bring fear over you, because you're so locked in and you're so, like, you have it so together that you're not even concerned, you're not even worried. And I know that's like the objective for most people. They would just love to get to that point where they don't have the feeling of, and I want to mention one thing before the misconception that I think a lot of people have, and I think why a lot of people they're scared to go on the walk, is because they feel as though they're getting rid of something and they're gonna want it. But I can tell you for a fact that when you go on the walk and you get this new heart, so comes, and he knows how much you can take. So some things he just erase immediately right off the bat. Some people don't have the patience and the self-control or whatever have you to go through as much as somebody else, and so in all reality, it still feels intense. It still is a long, tormenting process for because it's all relative to the individual. But not everybody is going to go the same length. Some can have a couple of days probably, and it'll be fine. Some months, some years. So, but it's a continued process. You're continuing seeking God's face, continuing trying to be more aligned with Christ. So yeah, this message, and let's try to get you spirit filled, and because you need to. John 3:5, God says no one will enter heaven's gates unless you have God's Spirit living in you. And it's fact, it's true, it makes perfect sense. He doesn't want any more reoccurrence of what happened at the beginning of time, when you have some evil, i.e. Satan, trying to be defiant, bringing darkness into the space. So if he has his spirit living in everybody, there's no room for darkness. With the new body, his spirit, there is no darkness coming in anymore. So there's no more worries, there's no more pain, there's no more suffering. Isn't that an awesome life to look forward to? I know I'm looking forward to it, and I'm grateful. I am grateful. I get to live forever and ever. I don't know what it means. Because this life has been so tough and not the most pleasant experience. But over the last year or so, I've had a really awesome experience. It's good. You have your moments when it's like you feel so good, and there are moments you're just crying, you're frustrated, and you're like, crap, I hate this. This sucks. Yeah, it's like this. But at the end of the day, when you get through, Like when you hit that finish line, you're like, yes. It's like, but you never want to get too comfortable. You don't never want to get too comfortable, because if you get too comfortable, that's when evil can come back and creep back into your space, because you get so comfortable that you start doing things that uh, is off this world, and then you're like, oh, I still know, but that's not how it works. You don't want to get too comfortable. Anyways, message. Take care. God bless.